All right, let's talk about the one thing that might be secretly sabotaging your biggest goals. And here's a little hint. It's not about your budget, it's not your skills, and it's definitely not your timing. The real barrier? It's way closer than you think, and the solution is surprisingly simple.
So let me just ask you this straight up. What if the biggest obstacle, the one thing standing between you and everything you want to achieve, isn't external at all, but it's right there, inside your own head? I mean, think about it for a second. When a project doesn't pan out, or you just hit a massive wall, what's our first instinct? We blame the external stuff, right? The software, the market, the strategy. But what we find time and time again is that the real barrier isn't out there, it's our own thinking. And that brings us to the real heart of the issue. It is time to meet the invisible force that could be quietly holding you back from everything you want, your limiting beliefs.
So, what in the world is a limiting belief? Well, the best way to think of it is like an invisible fence built around your ambitions. It's this deep, subconscious thought pattern. And here's the really tricky part. It feels like an undeniable fact. But in reality, it's just an assumption, a story you've been telling yourself probably for a long, long time.
And here it is, the big one. The single most powerful and the most common limiting belief of them all is this one simple thought: I'm not good enough. This one idea is the root cause of so much resistance. We're talking imposter syndrome, that paralyzing fear of failure, and the crippling need for everything to be perfect. Does any of this sound familiar? You see, this core belief of not being good enough is so sneaky. It shows up in our daily thoughts as that little voice that says you're not ready, or you need more experience, or, and this is a big one, that you're a fraud and you're about to be exposed. It's the reason you keep endlessly tweaking your work and always undervaluing what you bring to the table.
So you might be wondering, how can a simple thought have so much power over my life? Well, let's pull back the curtain and break down exactly how these beliefs actually start to shape your reality.
You see, your brain is wired for efficiency. It loves shortcuts, and one of its favorite shortcuts is to actively look for evidence that confirms what it already believes to be true. So if you subconsciously think you're not good enough, your brain will literally filter your perception of the world and guide your actions to make that belief come true. It becomes a complete self-fulfilling prophecy.
You know, Henry Ford absolutely nailed it with this one. And this isn't just some catchy motivational quote you see on a poster. It is a fundamental principle of how our minds work. Your belief system literally sets the boundaries for what you're capable of achieving.
But here is the really good news. A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking, and you can always choose to think a new one. This is where we get practical. Let's dive into what I call the art of the reframe and how you can start changing these patterns, like today.
Okay, let's tackle a huge one: money. The old belief gets stuck on the price tag. Will anyone really pay this much? The reframe completely shifts your focus to the value. What is the massive impact I'm providing? When you anchor yourself to the value you create, the price just becomes a fair exchange. Simple as that.
Now for perfectionism. Oh, it feels so productive, doesn't it? But really, it's just procrastination in a fancy costume. Waiting for perfect means you'll be waiting forever. The key reframe is this: your offer, exactly as it is right now, is the perfect solution for someone. Your job isn't to perfect it in hiding, it's to go find that person.
This right here is one of the biggest myths about success: that you need to feel confident before you can act. You know what? It's the exact opposite. Confidence isn't the fuel for action, it's the byproduct. You take the action first, and then the confidence shows up, not the other way around.
The comparison trap. It is brutal. The reframe here is to stop looking sideways at what everyone else is doing and start looking inward. What are you uniquely good at? What's your secret sauce? That's where you need to focus your energy, because that's where your real, unbeatable advantage lies.
Now these reframes, they're a fantastic start, but they only become real when you combine them with one final, absolutely crucial ingredient. Let's talk about how action is the engine that drives this entire transformation.
Let me be completely crystal clear about something. The feeling of being 100% ready is a myth. It never ever arrives. The most successful people in the world understand this. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They just identify the next possible step and they take it.
And if you need proof, just look at the story of Starbucks. Before it was a global empire, Howard Schultz pitched his idea for European-style coffee houses 242 times. Let that sink in. 242 investors told him no. Can you imagine that level of rejection?
He succeeded not because he eliminated his doubt, but because he acted in spite of it. So here's your simple 3-step game plan. Step 1, identify. Just notice the negative thought when it pops up, no judgment. Step 2, challenge. Ask yourself, wait a minute, is this 100% true? And actively look for any evidence that proves it wrong. And finally, step 3, act. Use the 5-second rule. The moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and physically move before your brain has a chance to talk you out of it.
If you only remember one single thing from our time together today, please make it this. Action is the spark. It's the cause, not the effect of confidence. Stop waiting to feel confident and start doing the thing that will create it.
Your goals, your dreams, they aren't waiting for the perfect moment. And they're definitely not waiting for you to feel 100% ready. They're just waiting for you to take the next step. So the only real question left is this: what move will you make now?